Welcome to our online event, Master of Dental Public Health at the University of Dundee. Thank you for joining us today and for your interest and for taking the time uh, to be with us today. My name is Tariq Hamida. I'm a former Mdph student from Egypt and University of Dundee alumni ambassador. Joining me today will be my fellow alumni and alumni ambassador, Anshal, who's joining us all the way from Germany.
Hello,
Um,
everyone.
Hi there. I'm also joined by Shambhunath, who is a current MDPH program student and an who is a current MDPH student and a Dundee City resident. I'm by Dr.
Hi.
Sucharita Nanjava, MDPH program lead and senior lecturer at Dundee Dental School. Anshal, Shambhunath, and myself will be going through the slides, speaking about our respective experiences as postgraduate dental students at the uni. We'll talk a little bit about why you should consider the University of Dundee for your postgraduate studies, about the MDPH program and its modules, as well as post-graduation career prospects and opportunities, and what some of us former graduate students have gone to do after graduation. The three of us have had a lot of memorable moments and experiences at the uni. So we'll be passing the mic, so to speak, back and forth between ourselves to try and cover everything. At any point, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them in the Q&A section. Uh, I hope you can find it. It's just, I think it's below or above the screen here. So just leave your question there and Dr. Nanjaba will be available to answer all of your questions right at the end. So with that said, let's get started. This is the Old Manor Store in the Isle of Skye, just off the north west coast of Scotland. This is probably my favorite spot in the country, although it's hard to pick just one favorite spot, really. Because Scotland is such a gorgeous place just uh, to visit and live. I might be a little biased though, because as far as I am concerned, and as far as I can remember,
There's an interesting fact about Old Man of Storr, Tariq. If you know, it is one of the most photographed landscape in the world, actually. So
how
it's
is it?
indeed beautiful.
It is beautiful, but it's one of my favorites, really. And I'm sure I think you mentioned Anshal before that you visited the Isle of Skye multiple times, right?
Yeah, yeah. So many times, like 3 or 4 times, I have been to Isle of Skye. So
Right. Personally, I always felt an affinity for the country, its people, landscape, and culture. When I finally got to visit for my postgraduate studies, arriving directly at the small Dundee airport from Amsterdam, it was love at first sight. I was so awestruck that I didn't even bother taking a taxi into town. I just kept walking from the airport to the city center, taking in the scenery and enjoying a lovely stroll along the River Tay. From that day on, I got to spend about 2 years in the country, just having the time of my life, learning, working, studying, and meeting people from all over the world. Even after being away from the UK for about 5 years now, I'm lucky to still be good friends with folks I met in Dundee. I don't know if you guys know this, but Scotland has some of the oldest and most esteemed universities in the UK. It's one of the leading destinations for international students, with 500,000 enrolling every year. So they must be doing something right.
yeah,
Not to me, yeah,
true. So I was reading at the Times Higher Education World University Ranking 2021, and Scotland has got a reputation of excellence in education. So, as you said, we are doing something right.
yeah, absolutely. Um, Not to mention, the country has more world-class unis per head of population than anywhere else in the world. So a little bit about Dundee. I personally think Dundee has got to be Scotland's best kept secret. A lot of visitors tend to go for the big cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow, which are lovely in their own right. But Dundee is a really unique place in that, despite being one of the country's largest cities, it doesn't feel like that at all. It doesn't feel like a big city at all, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's right there in the east coast of Scotland, right on the east coast, just accessible from everywhere. And it's got a little bit of everything. Rolling hills like the Dundee, like the Law Hill, lush green spaces, gardens like University of Dundee Botanic Gardens, for instance, museums, beautiful historic buildings with amazing architecture, and even beaches in Broughty Ferry. I'm sure you guys visited all of those places when during your time there.
Yes,
Um,
correct.
Yeah.
I would like to add on this, like Dundee is also called as the city of discovery. So basically, it is because of its history of scientific activities and the Royal Research Ship Discovery. I hope you have seen that Discovery ship, which is parked at the harbor there near the Terry.
oh, are you talking about the V&A Design Museum? Okay, okay.
Just near to Vienna Design Museum, there is a Discovery ship.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's
So
a
yeah, it has beautiful Discovery Museum also, and there's a V&A museum, which was actually inaugurated during our time by the Duke
oh
and Duchess of Cambridge, like Prince Williams and Kate Williams, and they came for the inauguration there. So it was a great thing. And there's one museum there in Dundee. So as a part of our curriculum, classroom curriculum, we were taken to Verdant Work Museum. So basically, it tells you the story of Dundee jute industry production in the 19th and 20th century. So it was very interesting.
oh, very interesting.
Yeah,
It's also, I would say, Dundee is a pretty walkable place. It's just a short, you're always a short walk from, the campus, the uni campus, city center, shops, restaurants, pubs, and everything else. It's also bike friendly and only a short bus or train ride away from all major Scottish cities.
correct.
Uh, can you see the next slide?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Dundee is the UK's first and only UNESCO City of Design, with its famous, as we were saying, the V&A Design Museum, which is lovely. It's a dynamic and multicultural city with lots of international students and communities from all over the world. In my experience, also Dundonians are amongst the nicest people in the UK. I remember during my first week there, when I was still trying to find my bearings, I would ask people on the street for directions, and they would insist on walking me to whatever destination I needed to go. So, very helpful at the time as a new student. So Dundee was also voted Britain's coolest little city by GQ magazine, and I must agree wholeheartedly. It's got such a closely knit community too, and you can really feel it. Everyone is welcoming towards international students. Actually, a funny story about that. Um, on graduation day, on my way to the ceremony, just complete random people on the street, complete stranger, would stop to congratulate me, looking genuinely proud of us graduates. It really warms your heart, and it makes you feel right at home. So, oh, and if you're a music fan, also, Dundonian music is alive and well. The city's booming music scene has got a lot to offer in terms of amazing local acts, talented musicians, whom you're bound to run into in one of the city's many live music venues. With such wide variety of genres and events, you're seriously spoiled for choice. You got everything from your weekly sessions of Scottish and Irish traditional music to yearly events like the Dundee Jazz Festival. So everyone will tell you Dundee is a sunny city in Scotland, and I think you can see Chambonadas sitting right there
Yeah.
at the
You
cafe
can
with
see from
super
my
Scottish
background.
music.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
supposed to show you the river Tay, but it's very
okay.
bright. You can't see the river.
Really,
It's
yeah,
very,
it's really,
very bright today, and it's very
that's
pleasant
true.
today.
I used to think just saying Dundee is a sunny city, Scotland, is not saying much. You always hear that there is not a whole lot of sun in Scotland, but then I got to travel around the country for a bit, just visiting other cities where it's dark and rainy all the time, and I realized that Dundee is in fact truly special. You can enjoy mild weather all year long with the occasional wintertime snow, which is always lovely to experience if you're from a country where it never or rarely ever snows, like the three of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had my first winter over here.
That's
So
true.
for me as well, I had my first snowfall. I experienced my first snowfall in
Yeah,
Dundee.
we made snowman, walked around the city, played with ice. It was a good experience.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So let's assume you're a student from overseas and you're thinking about pursuing postgraduate studies in the UK. You've narrowed down your options and you're considering getting into a Scottish university. One of the first questions that come up is the national and international rankings. These are some of the most recent University of Dundee rankings that will give you an idea uh, about where the university stands in relation to other UK higher education institution. So the uni consistently scores very highly every year, especially in the graduate entering professional uh, occupations, and also for the overall average satisfaction rates amongst students and international students. So Anshal is now going to talk a little bit about the dental school. So over to you, Anshal. Just let me know when you'd like to go to the next slide, please.
Okay, thank you, thank you, Tariq. So basically, dental school ranked third in the UK for dentistry in the Guardian's 2021 University Guide ranking. And on to next slide, Tariq, please. Um, and so I was going through the rankings, and it has scored first in the UK for student satisfaction, National Student Survey 2019. And I cannot agree more with it, because yes, the student satisfaction was real. I mean, yes, I gave 100% to the student satisfaction to the University of Dundee. And it is the staff and the faculty there is really friendly. It is extremely friendly school with a great sense of community. Excellent student lecturer interaction. So basically, in a classroom, more like it is more like a group discussion than a teacher teaching you in front of a blackboard and then you are just listening. So it's not like that. It's these classrooms are really small classrooms, and you get to talk to each other. You get to express your views on each and every topic. You get to interact with each and every uh, person in the classroom. So it was completely different, like how we have in other universities and colleges. And it has excellent
I
facilities as
totally
well.
agree to that. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, even in online setting, we had a lot of group discussion. We were divided into groups, and we had a good interaction with our staff. It was amazing, even in the online setting.
I know, and when you share your knowledge with the others, so it actually adds up in your, what you know, and it really adds up in your knowledge. So it was very interesting with the group chatting, knowing from other students like how is it in their home country. It was a very good lecture and student interaction, and we have excellent facilities as well. For example, the teaching labs. Um, Back slide. Phantom head theater with 38 stimulator with drills and intraoral cameras, and 3D facilities for anatomy teaching. And on to next slide, please. So basically about dental public health. So Shambhunath will be briefing you about dental public health. Uh, on to you, Shambhunath.
Thank you, Anshul. So it's a 1 year course. You either need a first or a upper second class degree in any health related topic. So the fees will be around £22,000, which will be updated in the uni site. And it is very unique to Scotland. It's mainly based on evidence-based dentistry. So you can develop a career in a government and a national dental public health programs and in many NGOs. Up to the next slide, Tariq. So I think Tariq will be talking about the scholarship. So now the
Oh, sorry
programs such
about
as
that. Yeah, just tried to
that's okay.
find the right strategy. So, so for the scholarships, you have your three main scholarships are uh, two of them you're eligible for them automatically once you apply to the program, the actual program. These are the Global Excellence Scholarship and the Automatic Regional Scholarship. Also, you have to check the criteria for each of them to see if you're eligible, and you'll be automatically considered once you apply. The other one is the Global Citizenship Scholarship. And it's if either you're a postgraduate or undergraduate student, you'll be eligible to them. But for this one, you have to make an application. And it says here it will be awarded via either in-market event or by application. So in case you attend one of the marketing events, I think you could be considered as well if you make your application.
Mhm. I would like to add on, Tariq. So the regional advisor from University of Dundee, like for example, I had Ritika Shah. So they really help you and encourage you to apply for the scholarships. Like I didn't know much about the scholarship when I was applying, and she actually encouraged me to apply for it, and I ended up applying for the Global Excellence, the top one excellence scholarship. And yes, I was awarded with 5,000 euros, and it really helped me with my fee structure. Yeah, 5,000 euros is a big amount. And
Oh,
so basically this scholarship thing from University of Dundee is really helpful. And I have one incident to share. So whoever applied, and during my time, actually 2018-19, whoever applied for the scholarship, so the University of Dundee, they threw a scholarship party for those students, and that was a lifetime experience party. I have never been to such kind of party for all
oh,
this. We were feeling so special, and we were so homesick. Everyone like, we were so emotional, we were crying actually, like we were feeling so proud of ourselves, like so it was
uh,
such a great experience there.
I'm
So
sure it must have been great.
yeah, it was amazing. So
Moving on to the yeah, sorry, you were saying um,
yeah, so I was saying, like this the staff and the regional advisor, they'll actually help you with the scholarship things. So
that's perfect. Yeah, I think for me, I got the older scholarship that was available at the time was the Dean's International Scholarship, and you had to apply for that as well. And I ended up getting it. I couldn't be more happy about it. It was really one of the highlights of just before the matriculation process, and it made everything much easier.
yeah.
So I think Shambhunath is going to talk a little bit
Yeah,
about the
about this.
MDPH program now.
Thank,
So
thank you, Tariq.
please.
So as I said, it's a one-year course. It starts in September and ends in September. It's a specialty of dentistry that mainly deals with prevention of oral disease and promotion of oral health. So we work closely with the School of Medicine, which is the Nine Wells. And from this year, we have an additional option to study an extra module, which is a medical education, which is an alternate pathway. Here, where we can do either the dissertation or we can choose the medical education module. After the next slide, Tariq. So this is the Nine Mills Hospital, which is pretty huge. It's one of the Europe's largest teaching hospital. But unfortunately, I was not able to go there. It's pretty close to Dundee. It's like 9 minutes, 10 minutes in the bus, or like 20 minutes walk, and the buses are available every 5 to 10 minutes.
So we have been to Nine Wells during our time, and as you said, so in every 8 to 10 minutes there is a bus available. It's pretty close to the university actually, and so we used to go there to give our exams as well. It's not very far. You have buses, and even you, if on a good day, on a nice sunny day like how is it today, you can go for a walk as well. So
It,
it's
it, it
pretty.
is very beautiful. I've been there once, not for classes, but I've been there.
Yeah.
Off to the next
I,
slide, Tariq.
I think for
Okay.
us, just to comment about your the Nine Wells situation, I think for us for the first semester we had to spend most of our time actually with the MPH students, which was nice just to meet everyone and get a little bit of insight on what they're doing there. So
Mm.
Yeah.
on to you, Shambhunath. Yeah.
Yeah, so the first semester we basically have classes with the MPH students in which we have the health promotion, epidemiology, and public health, and we have the public health running through first sem and second sem, and we have academic writing which also runs through the first and second sem, in which the health promotion is taken up by the dental school, and we have the clinical statistics in the first sem, and in the second sem we have oral it's more of a dental thing, so oral epidemiology, dental public health, and we have the public health running and academic writing, and through the summer the dissertation goes. So this year we have the opportunity to do an additional module instead of dissertation. After the next slide, Tarek.
I would like to add on on this thing. So although the course is related to dental and specific to dental public health, however, we study along with the MPH student. As Shambhunath said, we'll be going to the 9 wells as well, and we have some modules with MPH students. So kind of we end up getting the knowledge of both general public health as well as dental public health at the end. So that's the good part about dental public health, I guess.
Yeah, I agree totally.
So the parallel pathway, as I explained, is a new opportunity from this year, which is run by the Center for Medical Education, which has a huge history of training healthcare professionals over the year of over 40 years. So after the next slide, Tariq. So as I said, instead of the dissertation, we can do a couple of modules in medical education and a project. So the modules are learning and teaching in medical education and principle of assessment in medical education. And you have to do a small project on dental TPG program. After the next slide, Tariq. So the key knowledge will be like how to improve the dental public health system we gain. And most of the skills we acquire during the course are transferable skills, and which would do how to improve the dental public health system, how to reduce oral health inequality. There is one program which is currently running in Scotland, is like Smile for Life.
Yes, Smile for Life.
And then how to carry out dental public health researches. On to the next slide, Tariq. So interesting experience Tarek and Angel would be sharing. They had a great experience.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I mean, I want to tell about the interesting experiences which we had during our time. So other than the classroom discussion, the best part about University of Dundee is, so instead of having the discussion and classes in the classroom, the staff always plan for programs outside the classes actually. So so there's one program called Mouth Matters. There's a study going on called Mouth Matters. It is a Scottish Oral Health Improvement Prison Program. So we were actually, the staff took us to the prison, inside the prison, one of the prison in Edinburgh. So it is actually designed to enable health professional, prison staff, and social workers to meet specific oral health needs of offender population in Scotland. And it was first ever program like that ever held till now, this event. And it was such a beautiful event. It was a lifetime experience for us. And it brought people from Scotland prison and researchers and Scottish Prison Service, Homeless Action Scotland, NHS Education. It brought all of us together. So Tariq, can you show this Professor Freeman? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Professor Freeman right here.
Yeah, so she's the one who's talking, who's giving a talk at that event, the prison event, and there's another person, Niall, who was our batchmate, and he also got an opportunity to speak at the event. And since Professor Freeman, she actually leads a lot of, like how Shambhunath says, she leads a lot of programs. She and the staff at the University of Dundee, they lead a lot of programs related to researches which aim to reduce dental health inequalities. Like for example, Smile for Life, it is basically aimed for homeless population in Scotland. And there's one called Child Smile. Tariq, can you show the Child Smile symposium thing here?
Yeah, right here, the Child Smile program.
So, yeah, the Child Smile, which is held every year actually, and it is basically a national health program to improve oral health of children in Scotland and reduce dental health inequalities. So there are a lot of interesting programs which you can get to know about it, and you can be a part of it. So on to next slide.
That's true. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you have anything to share, Tariq. So
oh, I was just gonna say that you get to attend a lot of workshops, especially the ones, the annual conferences held by the Scottish Oral Health Collaboration, and you get to actually participate in the sessions, to discuss with them. We had the opportunity to discuss a little bit about the Child Smile program. I think it was in 2016 when we first got to Dundee, and it was such a lovely opportunity, and it also it helps you, build up your network, and meet other, fellow researchers and postgraduate students, and the professors, of course, which is always nice.
Yeah. So, the field study was kind of a different experience, because classroom studies are always, we always have experienced that in our homeland, but field
Yeah.
experience was very different. Yeah. And about dissertation, so this slide is about dissertation. So, yeah, so staff really helps you a lot in deciding a topic for you, or they really help you, like, which topic are you interested in, and accordingly you can plan your dissertation. And if there is any ongoing study which is already going in by the university, so they try to collaborate you with that study. So for
Yeah,
example, my topic
yeah.
was yeah, Shambhunath, please.
So I'm collaborating with Dr. Heather, who's running a program on evaluating near me.
Mhm.
So they gave us a lot of options. So this found interesting.
Yeah. So my topic was effects of multiple childhood experiences, and it was in scoping review. And Professor Freeman and Suchi, they saw my interest toward ACEs, so they suggested me, like, if you want to do such kind of dissertation, and I'm like, yeah, I'm very much interested in this topic. So they really help you in deciding, because as a student you hardly have any knowledge, or you are confused which topic you want to choose, and so they really help you with choosing a good topic for you. So, and on to next slide, Tariq, please.
Sure.
So, and then they, after your dissertation, they really encourage you for your publication. So if your dissertation goes really well, staff helps you with the publication to get it published. So for example, Tariq's publication, like Tariq's paper got published, and Tariq has to say something about it.
Yeah, so this project took us a little bit of time to shape it into what it eventually turned out to be. It was really interesting to get hands-on experience on how postgraduate research works in real life, putting what we've been learning from the taught modules into practice. Just by actually conducting literature reviews and qualitative analysis. That was what I did personally. So literature reviews and some qualitative analysis mainly, and also descriptive statistical analysis as well. So some um, sorry, it was all a highly valuable experience. Basically, what I did was look into some of the previously collected questionnaires given out to fourth and fifth year dental students to gauge their satisfaction rates with a particular communication skills teaching method. At the time, students attended a couple of sessions involving a new teaching method based around the concept of forum theater as part of their clinical communication skills and professionalism curriculum. So what I did was just analyze the available data, and I wrote a dissertation on the results. Also, 1 year after graduation, as Anshal said, I published a peer-reviewed paper discussing the study in the European Journal of Dental Education, which was one of the highlights of my academic career. This all wouldn't have been possible without the guidance and support of the supervisors, as well as working closely with fellow research colleagues at the school. So all in all, it was a very educational experience, and I got a lot out of it. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the career prospects here. So you'll be interested in learning what some of us former students have gone to do after graduation, career-wise. As you can see in the slide, there is a wide range of opportunities available to you after graduation in both academia, state-run public health departments, and NGOs as well. We have 6 PhD students who are doing a mix of competitive, fully funded, government-funded, and self-funded, uh, uh, ba- uh, mainly in the UK and Australia. You've got your careers in dental industry, clinical practice. I have my own practice, which I'm an associate dentist in a dental practice in Egypt, actually, at the moment. But my own clinical practice had to take a backseat during the COVID situation. So you also have people working in government run or state run departments. and you've got specialty registrar in dental public health in the UK, but you will need a GDC registration for that kind of position. It might be worth mentioning, you know. So again, PhD students, we've got an academic tutor at the University of Sunderland. Someone is doing an internship with the Federal Ministry of Health in Sudan, clinical research fellow at Dundee. And dental content writer, that's me actually. I work remotely for an American dental tech company based in Atlanta, Georgia. And also we've got one epidemiologist at the Directorate of Public Health and Family Welfare in India.
But yeah, I think Tariq, Anchal's classmate, Niall, Anchal's classmate, who's currently a staff as well as he's doing his PhD and who's also a specialty registrar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one. So we're all gonna talk a little bit about our student experience at Dundee. Over to you, Shampunav.
Can you go back to the slide first, like before slide?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the snow which I had experienced in, and that's my fellow batchmate Rohit. And
Okay.
this is the library on the right side on top. So it was a different experience. And I think on left top is Tariq, you?
Yeah, that's us in Nine Wells actually, and on the bottom here, it was a street food event on campus actually, right where you're currently are, Shampunav actually. So
Yeah, liar.
so,
So as we all, I haven't seen this view.
yeah,
So there are
yeah, no,
around like
so,
more than 12,000 or 13,000 students, and the university accommodation, which is always on suit, and there are a lot of sport facilities and a lot of laboratories, and the student union DUSA is amazing. It's one of the best in Scotland. After the next slide, Mary. So these are the different student service offered by the uni. We have academic skills center, the inquiry center, which I think Angel has a lot of experience to share. And we
Yeah.
have the career service. They help you to develop a good CV. I think again, Angel has a good experience in that. And the botanic garden is amazing. It's around like 56 acres. You can go there, roam around, and the library, which is amazing, which I'll come through it. So Angel, would you like to have?
Yeah,
oh,
so
So
I would
this
like to, yeah, okay, I'll speak, Tariq. One. You have to say something?
no, sorry, do you need me to move on to the next slide?
No,
yeah.
yeah, before you move on to the next slide, I'll just
Sure.
add some points
Yeah.
here. So about the services, a bit. So I personally had experience of inquiry center and then career services. About the career service, so I got an opportunity as a oral health promoter. So I applied for a job in London, and staff really helps you and guides you. You know, they actually send helps with the references and recommendations. And I took an appointment with the career service, and I went there and asked to help me with my application CV, because then you are again confused, like what is good for how is it is with the UK standard. So I took an appointment, and they really enhanced my CV. They helped me with my cover letter. I prepared my presentation and interview, and I shared it with the staff, with actually Dr. Suchi, and she guided me, like, you can say this point, that point. And and I went for the interview went really good. I got call from them 2 times actually, but unfortunately I was coming to Frankfurt to join my husband, so I couldn't join that job. But yeah, they really encourage you with all those good job opportunities and enhancing your CV and stuff. And so it's a good thing about the career services in University of Dundee.
Yeah, I think they provide a lot of guidance, and the good thing is the staff is all, your supervisors are all available to provide you with, as you said, Angel, reference letters and everything you need just to move you to the right direction.
Yeah, true.
So over to the library. This is the main library. I have to say a lot about library. So library, as you can, it's open 24 hours during the exam, and it's open till 2:30 a.m. So when I came to Dundee, I have no idea about referencing. So I went to it was all online. So I talk to a assistant librarian called Scott. So he helped me with the referencing. He helped me find papers. He helped me, like, he taught me how to do the referencing. So it was a great experience in the library.
Mhm.
And I think Angela has the same experience as well.
Yeah, true, Shambhunath. So we never knew. In fact, to be honest, I never heard of citation and referencing. Yeah,
That's true,
so
true.
it was so new for me. And in my first assignment, I remember I did really bad because what in my mind, what was that, like, you have to do some research on internet, you have to just cut that, copy paste in your actual assignment. And my referencing was, it was just worse. And next thing I remember, how librarian, I mean, we have so many students, as you said, we have 13,000 students in University of Dundee, and the librarians are so helpful. He used to actually give us appointment, and give to each and every student, he used to come and tell us and guide us, teach us like how to do referencing. And I remember I didn't know how to search for the papers, so he actually sat with me and he looked for my topic, and then he searched so many papers, and then he sent me everything on email. And next thing I know, like, over a period of 1 year, I was so trained, and I became so good that it really helped me, and I passed with distinction. So my first assignment was a disaster, and then my grades were so good at the end. So it's really amazing, like you can actually see growth and improvement in yourself, how the staff and librarians, they help you. And yeah, so that's all I have to say about library. I'm sure even Tarek has good experience about library.
Oh, it was actually when I was studying at Dundee, I had unfortunately my laptop screen just broke down for some reason, and so I couldn't, just continue to do my work. So I ended up spending more time at the library than at my own flat, which was great because it used to be open, 24 hours during final weeks and stuff like that. So I would just go there, and it ended up being better for me just to be there, because you've got your, options of just studying in the main area, where you can talk and interact with other students, and also you can go to the silent section, where you can just focus on your work, without any disruptions. And also you can book, one of the big rooms for meetings and everything with other, with your group, to discuss, a presentation or and whatnot. So it's a great place. And around Dundee, you don't only have the main library. You have a few, as you can see here, scattered around Dundee. So wherever you are, if you're in Nine Wells, you can go to the one there. It's a huge medical library, and it's really useful to have that resources available to you. So over to you, Anshul.
Yeah, so about Inquiry Center, I'm sure even Shambhunath has good experience with Inquiry Center. And my experience was when I landed in Dundee, my guest house was giving me room from 12 in the noon. And I landed at 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, like that. And so I requested my guest house, and they said, no, you have to come at 12. Now what to do? So I kept all my luggage in the guest house. And first thing I did, I called up Libby. And Libby is the actually regional advisor for South Asian students. And I called up her, and she's like, okay, then ask someone and just come to Inquiry Center. And I asked few students there. They guided me to the Inquiry Center. I went there, and then she gave me a fantastic tour of the university. Then she took me to my favorite place, Tower Cafe, and I went there. And we had nice coffee. It was so relaxing. And yeah, I remember, like, in few hours, my all my anxiety went off, and I was so familiar with the at least I knew that there's someone called Libby there. So if I have any problem, I can anytime count on her. And and for Inquiry Center as well, for my small things, if I lose something, or if I need an application or something, so I every time I used to go to the Inquiry Center. So they're very helpful.
Really
uh,
helpful. I agree.
yeah.
Yeah. I had the same experience with Libby. So I lost my biometric residence permit. Then I was like, oh, I freaked out. Then I went there. Then they uh, lead me to the international student support. So they helped me with every application process to get back my BRP. So it was a great experience. And Libby is very friendly and very amazing. You can go to her for anything.
Correct.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So the student sports clubs and societies, there are around 250 societies, student societies, and 45 different clubs. And I think this is Tariq in the sailing club, who was a
Yep.
member.
Yeah, I was actually a social member of the Dundee Sailing Club, and they're great and very welcoming of newcomers. You can just go there and talk to people. I think the great thing also during your first week there, if you're lucky after the COVID restrictions are lifted, you'll be able to visit the gym and just try out those tryout session where you can go in and try whatever sport you would like to pursue eventually for free. So you can go there and just get the experience and then decide if you want to pursue that afterwards or not. And the great thing about the sailing club is that they do this yearly sailing trips from Larks to Tarbert, along the west coast of Scotland. And they also do the yearly uh, sailing trips, international trips actually, during the summer month. Maybe I think they've done it once, as far as I know, once to Greece and also Croatia, which was super fun if you're interested in sailing. I was also a member of Philosophy Film Club and Scottish Traditional Music Society, a social member, so I wasn't a formal member. It's worth pointing out.
So there is one
So
interesting thing about the societies. So they arrange, like, there are a number of societies, as you said, like 250 plus societies, and some of the societies they arrange a day Scotland tour. If you guys are familiar with it, so at a very very low cost, this low like student discount and all those you get, and then you can have a day trip in the nearby places. For example, we went to with my friend. I went to the Stirling Castle, just at a very low cost, like I think 10 euros or something like that, 10 or 15 euros. And it was, yeah, so they take a bus from the university campus itself, and there are limited seats, although, but yeah, we should be the lucky one to book the seat, and they take you for a day trip. So it's really interesting. So we have to keep an eye, like which is the next trip coming on, and you can just book the trip. So yeah, so it's really great. You can, yeah, book some trips for to the nearby places.
Oh, brilliant.
to add Tariq, can you go to the
Do you want?
previous?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there is an election going on every year, like in September and January. So when I came, there was election going on. So I participated in the elections and I got selected as a general representative, which is a very different experience. Even my campaigning were online. I was able to meet a lot of people from different prospects, and it was amazing. So I'm currently a general representative in the Student Representative Council, and this is the Dusa building where I am. So it has
Yeah.
like 4 floors. The bottom floor has a terrace, which is the outdoor pub, and on the first floor we have the Lyre, which is a cafe and kind of a pub, and then third floor we have Air Bar Hive, where they give you advices and all. And in this building we have the Inquiry Center.
Is this your picture, Shampunath?
Yeah,
Is the
yeah,
one at
this
the
is my
bottom?
picture. Yeah, it's in
Must be
Lyre.
your
It
favorite
does.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's my favorite sport to work, to have a chai and like sit and work, relax. And you have the beautiful view of River Tay. You can see it in this picture, but not in my background. So I'm having
Right.
the background of River Tay, but since it's very bright, you can't see it.
And Dusa
Yeah.
also organize a lot of parties, like for example,
Yeah.
Halloween party. I remember Halloween party, and then Saint Patrick's Day. Sorry, not Saint. Yeah. So those kind of parties Dusa organizes, and I had my first experience of Halloween there, so it was amazing.
That's great. So yeah, I think we can all agree that we all had great experiences, during our time in Dundee, and that was actually Burns Knight, Kaylee, organized by the university, and it was a great experience for international students to learn about Robert Burns, the famous Scottish poet, and about the what's included, what people usually do and eat, in during during Burns nights. And the Kaylee is always great. We get to dance with everyone and have a great time.
Yeah.
And these are some of the landscape pictures taken by Dr. Suchi here. I think she's really talented, and just getting all those different views at different times of the year,
Different
and you
season.
can, yeah, you get the feeling of, how it's how variant it is, how different everywhere, and it's a lot of beautiful lakes, mountains, hills, everything, beaches also, uh, lovely, lovely place.
I think in on top left, it's Dr. Suji who's going for a cycling
Yeah,
again.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's her. So thank you everyone for joining us, and for taking the time. As we said earlier, if you got any questions, just you can drop them in the Q&A section, and we'll try to answer everything. So please go ahead and ask away.
Thank you very much, Shambhanath, Tariq, and Anshul. I really enjoyed hearing all about your experiences, and I hope that it'll also be useful to those, thinking of
Right.
applying to study in Dundee.
Mhm.
So, like you hear from the students, it's a wonderful place to live and work and study in. And even I've been here probably about 10 years now and absolutely love it. So, yeah, it's a great place. So before we move on to the questions, I just wanted to bring your attention to this Mdph summer program. So we're running a 1-week program. It starts on the 26th of July, so 26th to the 30th. It's only about 2 or 3 hours a day, but gives you a bit of a taster for the Mdph. And we'll be covering topics such as evidence-based dentistry, community-based participatory research for health equity, and communication for patient-centered care. Okay, so I'll give you a taster of the course. So there's a nominal fee for this of £100, but if you do decide to join the Mdph, then that will be taken off from the costs. Okay, so if you are interested in this, please email Celine. I think is Celine's email there?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, at the bottom of the slide. So, and then at the end of the course, you'll also get a certificate for participation.
Right.
So, yeah, happy to
so
take any questions. Sorry, yes.
yeah, we had a few questions coming in. So the first one is from Himangi. He said, or she, I have done my dentistry from India. Am I eligible for the Mdph?
Yes, of course you are. So we do have some eligibility criteria based on your academic, how well you've done in your undergraduate course. So we usually take people with a first class equivalent or an upper second. So that translates roughly to 60% if you're in India. Again, you need to go onto the course page and check the equivalence. But if you don't fulfill those criteria, but you actually have experience in the area, so you've either done work or published, that will also be taken into account. So when you apply, include all of these things in your application and put in your personal statement, why you want to do this course and how you're suited for it. And that will count towards being accepted.
Perfect. So Harry Raju asked, what's the difference between MPH and Mdph?
Okay, so the Mdph is specifically Masters in Dental Public Health. So like Anshul said, there's an added element specifically on the dental topics. So you do get exposure to public health, but you also get very specific things related to dental public health. So if you're a dentist by background or are interested in working in the dental field, then it's more relevant to you to do the Mdph. I don't know if Anshul, Tariq, or Shambhanath want to add to this.
So it's a joint program between the dental school and the medical school, but you'll be more concerned with the dental part of things, So if you're, as Dr. Nanjaba mentioned, if your background is in dentistry, it's recommended that you go for the Mdph. But if you are, interested in general public health, it'll be a good idea just to pursue the MPH program. But it's worth mentioning, as the Shampuna said, there is a new pathway where you can also study medical education
Yeah, a module in medical
alongside
education.
alongside the usual modules, which is really great. It covers everything you need. They do just a few extra modules than us dental students. You can always ask people if they do some extra epidemiology courses. You can do them and study with them. If you have the time, you can attend the lectures as well if you're interested in that. We got a new question here, and it says, if the course contains a placement or professional practice, would I work in a clinic after graduating from Dundee?
No, we don't place you in any practice or after
Okay.
the course. That's not part of the course. But like you heard from all of the speakers today, you gain a lot of different skills and knowledge, and we will help you in things like your CV and preparing for interviews and giving you references, etc. But we will not be placing you as such in any.
Yeah. So there is no clinical component of
No,
the course.
there's no clinical placement after.
So Hari Raju is interested in knowing course and curriculum and role in health programs and the WHO organization.
Okay. Hari, I will actually direct you first to our course pages. So it has full details on each of the full course in the curriculum. So it explains in detail all of the various modules and what that entails. Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of the WHO, we have the WHO Collaborating Center here. And I think we have with us actually Professor Peter Mossy, who heads that, who also contributes to the course. So as part of the course, you do get a chance to interact with people from these different areas and ability to network and explore opportunities in different programs. So I don't know if Peter's here and wants to add anything to this. I think you can turn your mic on, Peter. Sorry.
So as Suchi, you said, so Professor Mosi, he has a connection with WHO. So during our time also, there was one internship program at WHO. However, we could not apply for it because of some other reasons. But yes, there was something, and I got in touch with Professor Mosi, and he helped me with it, and he said yeah, you can apply for it and those kind of things. So yes, it is one of the option, right?
Okay, and I don't think is Dr. Mosey available to maybe talk a little? Okay,
no,
sorry about that.
He was there at the beginning. I think he's not available now.
Okay. So I think this is the same question really from before, but so Himangi is interested in knowing what are the chances of getting into clinical dentistry after the course in the UK and Germany, and if students are eligible to work after the course.
The course is, sorry. We said before,
go
the
ahead,
course
please.
doesn't, sorry, Tarek, talking over. Yeah, no, the course is such, it doesn't prepare you for the clinical exam. So if you want to work in clinical practice in the UK, you have to do certain exams here run by the General Dental Council, and that's very separate from any master's course as such.
Yeah, you have to clear the overseas registration exam in order to be eligible for clinical practice.
Yeah. So it's a range of exams. And again, you'll find all details about that on the GDC website, the General Dental Council. So up-to-date information you can find from there.
On the website. Oh, great. So Siri Ram wants to know what's the eligibility, or what are the eligibility criteria to secure an admission, like the IELTS score, for example, and for September 2021 intake, what is the last date for submission for the IELTS score? I think, do we have a set deadline for the new intake? For the
No,
Mdph program?
it's there's no deadline as such, but you should give yourself enough time then to process your visa applications, etc. So almost work backwards from how much time that might take. So we tend to process things quite quickly, I think, within the university. So if you submit all of your required documents, and you'll see a list of all the documents that you need to submit. So if you go to the web page, it gives you full details about things like IELTS scores, etc. So an overall score of 6.5, and then there's specifications of how much you must get in each of those areas. But yes, you have to get your IELTS, and you have to have your minimal educational qualification and a good personal statement. So if you submit all of these things, then we process your application quite quickly, and then it gives you time to work on your visas.
About the IELTS, I would like to add something. So instead of IELTS, some of our English mark list from the 12th are accepted. It is listed in the university website. Instead of IELTS, we can provide our English mark list from 12th grade. If you are either a CBSE student, it is listed in the university website. Instead of IELTS, you can provide something.
Yes, I would encourage you to look at the university webpage, because it has all the details for entry requirements there. And if there are any changes, that's the best place to see any updates.
Yeah.
Perfect. And the last question we got is, can I get a dentist license when I study in Dundee? Is the course helpful in getting such license?
No, it's not part of any license or giving course. So like we said, it's a very separate thing. Yeah.
As we said, some roles within the UK will require you to get a GDC registration, and for that you will need to do a two-part exam, which is the ORE exam, I think. So yeah, but that was right. So for the license per se, you will need to sit those exams first.
Yeah, so there are like two exams, ORE1 and ORE Part 2. And so once you pass those exams, you get registered, you can apply for GDC registration. Only then you get the license to work in Dundee or UK or the,
yeah. You got a theory exam and a practical exam. So the part 1 is theory, you have to clear the part 1 first, then go for the practicals.
But like Anchal mentioned before, so although you don't get to go straight into clinical practice after the course, you're eligible for some other kinds of work, such as Anchal was mentioning, like a health promoter job, a nodal health promoter job, or like research assistant jobs and things like that. So anything that's not clinical based, where you don't have to be registered with the General Dental Council. So you're like you saw from the slides earlier, so you get a range of knowledge and skills, and allows you to apply for lots of different varied types of positions, but not the clinical ones.
Perfect. And I think that's all. A few of you actually have raised your hands using the Zoom function. If you're happy to submit your questions in the Q&A sections, if you haven't yet, that would be great.
Yes, so yeah, who has their hands raised?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, most of the people who raised their hands already asked the questions, so that should be all. So thanks again, everyone, for for joining us today, and it was really interesting to reminisce about all of our experiences in Dundee, and I hope you found the presentation interesting, and I hope you will choose Dundee and Scotland to pursue your postgraduate studies, hopefully. Thanks again. Yeah.
I said, believe us, it's a great place to pursue your masters. Yeah, and if at all you have any queries or anything, you have our email IDs down there, so you can just feel free to mail us, ask your queries. and we'll try our best to answer all your questions.
Yeah, these are our emails here, so feel free to send us an email, just ask about anything you want, really, and we're more than happy to help you guys. Thanks very much. I think we got one more question here. Let me just check. Yeah, no. So we're good. Thanks, everyone, and
Thank you all.
hopefully everyone stay
everyone.
safe and take care.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
safe. Thank you, Sachi.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you,
all
everyone.
very
Take
much.
care.
And
Bye
thank you
bye.
all for attending too.